Civil Accounts Organization is leading the reforms in public financial management by capitalizing the technology, including PFMS, which is the unified IT platform for performing various functions of the union government, such as expenditure management, pension disbursement, and financial reporting. It is an absolute privilege and matter of pride to have among us for today's celebration the distinguished presence of Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs as our chief guest. We sincerely thank you, Madam, for gracing the occasion. I now request Ms. Kumkum Sen, Assistant Controller of Accounts, to welcome Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs with a token of our respect. I request Sri Vivesh, ACA, to welcome respected Finance Secretary and Secretary Expenditure with a token of our regards. Thank you, Vivesh. I request Ms. Abhinaya, ACA, to welcome respected Sonali Singh Madam, Head of Civil Accounts Organization. I request Sri Anil Kumar, ACA, to welcome Ms. Dharitri Panda Madam, Additional CGA, PFMS Division. I request Sri Ravi Gangwar, ACA, to welcome Ms. Bharati Madam, Principal CCA, Ministry of Home Affairs and CBDT. Thank you, Ravi. I request Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs and the esteemed dignitaries on the dais to kindly light the lamp.
Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, respected Finance Secretary and Secretary Expenditure, distinguished guests, my service colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and privilege for me to welcome you all on behalf of the Indian Civil Accounts Organization to this inaugural session of the 46th Civil Accounts Day. I wish to express my profound gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs for acceding to our request to grace this inaugural session with her presence, despite her extremely busy schedule. Madam, your guidance has always provided a direction to our efforts in implementing important citizen-centric public financial management reforms in the Government of India. Your encouragement and support have helped us not only in delivering a prompt payment and accounting system during the pandemic, but also in introducing two very important reforms, namely the Treasury Single Account System and the Single Nodal Agency Framework during this period. With your blessings and support, we have also designed and developed a system for end-to-end digitization of the payment process, pilot for which is being launched today. I would like to collaboration of accounts and audit function can go a long way in improving financial reporting and can further strengthen the accountability framework in the Government of India. So, for his support at every stage of implementation of our numerous initiatives. Sir, you have always encouraged us to think out of the box and guided us in working out innovative solutions to the challenges in public financial management. The implementation of the TSA and the SNA frameworks has been closely guided and monitored by you. The organization looks forward to your continued support and guidance in all its new and ongoing endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, the personal and professional fronts, your grit and determination to serve the nation has been exemplary. Over the years, this day has evolved as a platform to introspect and deliberate on the emerging areas and challenges before the organization and to renew our resolve to continue to excel in public service. The country is progressing rapidly and changing on the path of growth, and we have to synergize our efforts accordingly. As an organization, we need to adapt to the changing needs, emerging technologies, and state-of-the-art processes in the service of the nation. We need to work incessantly to take the organization to greater heights of excellence. The Civil Accounts Organization has journeyed a long way from manual to electronic systems, and the public financial management system in its new avatar has evolved as key to financial administration in the country. As we celebrate 75 years of our independence, we will scale of operations of Government of India. Since its inception, it has handled more than 617 crore financial transactions, of which more than 168 crore have been in the current financial year. The system has more than 93 crore beneficiary accounts and is integrated with 579 banks. It has processed direct benefit transfers of the order of 2.7 lakh crore in the current financial year. SMS communications are now being sent to all the DBT beneficiaries through PFMS as an improved citizen-centric initiative. This has been made possible through continuous technological upgradation together with the philosophy of continuous development and continuous deployment in the system. Madam, as directed by you on the Civil Accounts Day last year, TSA has been implemented in over 150 central autonomous bodies. It is pertinent to mention here that the SNA framework, which was approved for implementation from 1st of July 2021, necessitated major changes in the existing modules of PFMS as also close coordination with the state governments. Madam, I am happy to inform you that in this short span of time, we have onboarded 96% of the schemes for all the states and union territories. 15 states and 2 union territories have been completely onboarded on the SNA model. Madam, the Office of the Controller General of Accounts has continuously worked on improving and enhancing the accounting framework in the country. The organization is working towards harmonization and consolidation of the accounting framework of 3 tiers of government, and a report on harmonization of accounts of urban local bodies with the accounts of the union and states has been submitted to the government. This will help in bringing about more transparency in financial reporting in the country. The revision of rules and manuals has also been initiated to ensure that they are contextual and evolve with the changing requirements of governance. The revision of the government accounting rules and the receipt and payment rules are at an advanced stages of consultation and approval. The role of accounts professionals is critical in the development of our country. There is a saying that what gets measured gets monitored, and what gets monitored gets done. To assist the executive for informed decision making and monitoring, the frequency of financial reporting has been increased. The disclosures have also been enhanced by including new statements as part of the monthly accounts being submitted to the Ministry of Finance. Accounting data is being made available on the click of a button through dashboards which have been developed for the Ministry of Finance as directed by you, Madam, on the 45th Civil Accounts Day last year.
वर्ष 2022 का भारत सफल, निडर, महत्वाकांक्षी, वैभवशाली अतीत के साथ चुनौतियों भरा वर्तमान लिए जब ये भारत चला था, किसने सोचा होगा कि 75 वर्षों बाद ये विश्व की सबसे तीव्रगामी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में से एक होगा। 1947 विभाजन झेल रहे नवजात भारत को सुदृढ़ करने और उसके बजट तथा अकाउंट्स की देखरेख के लिए एक्सपर्ट कमेटी का गठन किया गया। आर्थिक संघर्ष की पृष्ठभूमि में नई सरकार बनाने में अकाउंटेंट्स की भूमिका काफी प्रासंगिक रही और ये नया देश धीरे धीरे कदम बढ़ाने लगा। वर्तमान में अर्थव्यवस्था को संबल देने वाली एक से बढ़कर एक योजनाओं जैसे कि स्किल इंडिया, मेक इन इंडिया, जन धन योजना आदि का पूरे जोर शोर से क्रियान्वयन जारी है। केंद्र सरकार के निर्देशों पर कंट्रोलर जनरल ऑफ अकाउंट्स (CGA) ने डिजिटल इंडिया के अंतर्गत सार्वजनिक वित्त प्रबंधन प्रणाली PFMS की शुरुआत की, जिसने सभी कल्याणकारी योजनाओं को पूरी तरह नागरिक केंद्रित बना दिया है। जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव की घोषणा की, तो ये अवसर देश के विकास के अन्य क्षेत्रों के साथ भारत की आर्थिक प्रगति का भी उत्सव बन गया।
आज आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव का प्रारंभ हो रहा है और 15 अगस्त 2023 तक चलेगा।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने देशवासियों के समक्ष अमृत महोत्सव के 5 स्तंभ प्रस्तुत किए हैं। स्वाधीनता संघर्ष, 75 वर्षों की अवधारणा, उपलब्धियां, प्रयास तथा भविष्य के लिए संकल्प। देश की प्रगति में दिन रात मेहनत करते नागरिकों के लिए आखिर क्या है इस अमृत महोत्सव का अर्थ?
पहले पैसे आने में देरी होती थी, जब से खाते में आने लगे हैं टाइम पर आते हैं।
सभी किसान भाइयों का आधार कार्ड रजिस्टर हो रहा है, पैसा सीधे बैंक खाते में जाता है, बीच के बिचौलियों की कोई जरूरत नहीं।
अब सिलेंडर लेने में कोई दिक्कतबाजी नहीं है, महीने के अंत में हमारे खाते में सब्सिडी भी आ जाती है।
मैं वर्करों की पेमेंट खाते में ही भेजता हूँ और कभी इमरजेंसी पड़ गई तो भीम UPI से उनकी पेमेंट करते हैं।
100% पारदर्शिता के साथ PFMS संभव कर रहा है। हर लेन देन का डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड, लाभार्थी तक लाभ पहुंचाने तक की पूरी ट्रैकिंग, फंड्स का डायरेक्ट तथा जस्ट इन टाइम यानी ठीक आवश्यकता के समय ट्रांसफर संभव हो गया है। इस पूरी डिजिटल व्यवस्था के केंद्र में PFMS और इससे जुड़े स्टेक होल्डर्स की भागीदारी ने पारदर्शिता के एक नए दौर की शुरुआत कर दी है।
As a further step to enhance transparency and to reduce delays in payments, a completely paperless, end-to-end online e-bill system will be launched for use by all central ministries for their procurements. The system will enable the suppliers and contractors to submit online their digitally signed bills and claims and track their status from anywhere.
डिजिटल इंडिया के नागरिक आज बैंकों की लाइन में नहीं, बल्कि मोबाइल ऐप पर लेन देन कर रहे हैं। खरीदारी के लिए जेब में कैश की गड्डी नहीं, UPI कोड ही काफी है। दूर दराज बसे अपनों तक पैसे पहुंचाने के लिए बिचौलिए नहीं, जनधन खातों का सहारा है। PFMS इस उन्नत व्यवस्था का उपयोग कर रहा है अधिक से अधिक लोगों तक अपनी सेवाएं पहुंचाने के लिए। कोरोना की वैश्विक महामारी के बीच फंसे प्रवासी मजदूर भी आश्वस्त रहे PFMS द्वारा समय पर पहुंचे सहयोग के कारण। छोटे से गांव की ये होनहार बेटी जानती है कि उसे अपने सपनों से समझौता नहीं करना। खेतों में मेहनत करते किसान आज एक नई ऊर्जा से भरे हैं। दिहाड़ी पर काम करने वाले मजदूरों को अब अनिश्चितताओं का डर नहीं। लाखों आश्रित विधवाओं को विश्वास है कि वो जीवन के संघर्ष में अकेली नहीं है। वहीं सहारे की राह देखते करोड़ों वृद्ध अब आश्वस्त हैं कि पेंशन के लिए कमर तोड़ लाइन में खड़ा नहीं होना। नागरिकों के हितों के लिए भेजा गया 1 रुपया, जो कभी उन तक पहुंचते पहुंचते मात्र 15 पैसे रह जाता था, आज पूरी तरह उनको समर्पित है। और ये संभव हो सका है PFMS के माध्यम से। 1 अप्रैल 2015 को प्रारंभ हुए डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर के द्वारा रिजर्व बैंक के साथ अन्य सभी बैंकों को PFMS से जोड़ दिया गया है। परिणाम स्वरूप देश के 70 करोड़ लोग इस सुदृढ़ तथा पारदर्शी व्यवस्था का हिस्सा बन चुके हैं और इससे संभव हो गया है लाभार्थियों तक बिना बिचौलिए सीधा लाभ पहुंचाने की प्रक्रिया को ट्रैक करना। PFMS के द्वारा केंद्रीय स्वायत्त संस्थाएं जैसे कि IIT, ICMR, ICAR आदि को जहां ट्रेजरी सिंगल अकाउंट से जोड़ दिया गया है, वहीं केंद्र द्वारा प्रायोजित सभी योजनाओं को सिंगल नोडल अकाउंट के अंतर्गत कर दिया गया है।
The aim of the organization of the Controller General of Accounts has been to provide a world-class, robust, integrated financial information system.
Our constant endeavor has been to align our efforts to realize the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister for a digital India through a system which is accountable, responsive and transparent. In the last 2 years, 2 very important measures have been introduced. These are the Treasury Single Account System, which is essentially meant for the central autonomous body, and the Single Nodal Account Framework, which is for flow of funds to the state government. Both these initiatives would assist in ensuring better cash management and the optimum utilization of resources. And I would like to say that both these initiatives have been spearheaded by this organization through the Public Financial Management System. Another thing that we are currently working on is the end-to-end digitization of claims. This is being done through the e-bill system.
मतलब एक विश्व स्तरीय समेकित व्यवस्था जहां एक एक रुपए का हिसाब उंगलियों पर है। पूरी व्यवस्था में एक रुपया भी अनावश्यक खाली नहीं पड़ा है, जिससे योजनाओं को तो गति मिली ही है, सार्वजनिक कर्ज के ब्याज तथा अन्य व्यय पर भी अंकुश लगा है। नागरिकों का पैसा वहीं निर्देशित किया जा रहा है जहां उसकी आवश्यकता है, मतलब जनता का जनता के लिए। एक विश्व स्तरीय डिजिटल वित्तीय प्रबंधन को नए भारत में स्थापित करने का संकल्प भी दिलाती है।
Controller General of Accounts Srimati Sonali Singh, Additional Controller General of Accounts PFMS Srimati Dharitri Panda, Principal Chief Controller of Accounts Srimati Bharati, members of the Indian Civil Account Service, retired officers of the Indian Civil Account Service, other distinguished guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be part of this 46th Civil Accounts Day, which is being organized here. The occasion calls for an honest and objective assessment of your collective achievements over the year, with a sense of pride on what has been achieved and a spirit of commitment to what is left to be achieved. The Indian Civil Accounts Organization has in recent years been at the forefront of computerization and digitization of the payment and accounts functions of the Government of India. The Indian Civil Accounts Organization answered the call of duty in the midst of what could rightly be called one of the worst disasters to befall our generation by ensuring that the government payment system continued uninterrupted throughout. I'm happy to note that the organization took note of the suggestions and recommendations which were made on the 45th Civil Accounts Day, including by the Honorable Finance Minister, and has worked diligently towards fulfilling them. The universal rollout of the Treasury Single Account System and the digitization of budget, payments, receipts and accounts modules in the PFMS, as well as improvement in fiscal reporting, are examples. The PFMS has two facets. First, it is a management information system for the government for use by decision makers and policy makers. In this facet, the PFMS has made remarkable progress in the last year. Dashboards have been provided, helping in responsive decision making based on real-time data. Many reports have been provided to the ministries on single nodal accounts, which help in monitoring timely fund releases. I would urge everyone to use these reports and the DBT dashboard and to suggest any improvements or corrections which are needed in those reports. The second facet of the public financial management system is that it is a tool to improve the speed and efficiency of service to the citizenry. So the first part is it's an information system for the government, but the second and equally important part is that it needs to improve service to the citizenry. In that regard, there is more work to be done. I am delighted to see the proposed launch of the e-bill module of PFMS today, which is a major step in that direction. It will enable digital submission of bills and claims with digital signatures and electronic signed certification for further processing and payment. I compliment the entire PFMS team and the Controller General of Accounts for launching this and extend my wishes for its success. The CGA has a responsibility of compiling the accounts of Government of India and providing information, as I already said, to support financial decision making. It's heartening to note that every effort is being taken to submit audited accounts of Government of India to the President within 6 months of the closing of the financial year. With the automation of annual accounts, which I believe is in its final stage, I am sure time lags would be further reduced. It is imperative to constantly improve our skills, and therefore I urge you to have a strong capacity building framework in alignment with the Karma Yogi mission. Indeed, within it, the Indian Civil Accounts Organization as one of the pilots in the mission Karma Yogi, and in fact we are working very closely with the Capacity Building Commission to launch a number of initiatives to further enhance capacity. Before I go further, let me in exactly the manner that we had envisaged last year. I am aware that members of the Civil Accounts Organization are looking forward to a cadre review. I can assure you of our support in all your legitimate career aspirations and in expediting the cadre review. The review in respect of Group B and C is already at an advanced stage, while that of Group A is undergoing interdepartmental consultations. And let me put it this way. As the speed of payments in the PFMS improves, the speed of cadre reviews will also improve. We often hear from the corporate sector that one of their concerns is the inadequate representation of women in senior positions. I would ask you to take one look at that, and I can inform you that, and I particularly ask the media to take note that this is one respect in which the government is far ahead of the corporate sector, and this is something that we can all be very happy about. So let me wish the Indian Civil Accounts Service and all staff of the Indian Civil Accounts Organization all success in the years to come, and thank you very much.
Minister, in pursuance of the Digital India vision of Honorable Prime Minister, it was decided to develop a system to enable end-to-end digital processing of bills and claims from vendors, suppliers, contractors and all other types of payees of government. Currently, payments are done through a mixed system of physical and digital modes. While the payments are done mostly through electronic mode, without involvement of any paper instruments like checks, demand drafts, the claimants are still required to submit physical bills and claims to the authorities for scrutiny. With the initiative of e-bill, the claimant shall also be able to upload digitally signed bills on PFMS and track the status without approaching the offices. The e-claim then passed through different authorities electronically and is scrutinized and authenticated by digital signatures at each level. Finally, an electronic payment advice will be generated on PFMS, which travels to the bank server for credit into payee's bank account. All electronic documents generated as part of processing the claims will be stored in a document management system which could be accessed and retrieved for post-facto scrutiny, audit, etc. Madam, as you announced in the budget speech of 22-23, the system will provide huge convenience to suppliers, contractors in submitting their claims without physically approaching the offices. Besides, it has additional benefits of shorter bill payment cycle, more effective audit trails, and environmental benefits on account of eventually becoming a paperless system. It will be an effective tool to facilitate uninterrupted government disbursements in pandemic-like situations. This initiative was taken under the guidance of Ministry of Finance in the year 2020. The process flow followed an e-bill system is compliant to Information Technology Act 2000. Necessary approvals of all authorities such as CAG and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology have been put in place for the pilot rollout today. Despite the challenges thrown by COVID pandemic, we maintained the pace of development and completed the module in a mission mode in the past 6 months with support and guidance from Department of Expenditure. After today's launch by you, Madam, the system will be rolled out on pilot basis in 9 pay and accounting units of 8 ministries. On behalf of the Indian Civil Accounts Organization, I assure you that the system will be successfully implemented in all ministries and departments in a phased manner in the year 2022-23. It is now my great honor and privilege to invite the Honorable Finance Minister to launch the e-bill project.
Thank you, Madam, for having graced this occasion and launching the e-bill project for the Union Ministries. With this launch, some of the ministries will be immediately starting the processing of e-bills. Thank you once again, Madam. Now, the moment has come for which we were all eagerly waiting for, to hear the words of wisdom of Honorable Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister, the service and all others present on this special day.
Good afternoon and namaskar. As always, very happy to come over here and participate in this Civil Accounts Day, the 46th one this year. And it's again a matter of, can I say, pride, that this is one of those government programs where I joyfully see so many women holding good positions, being present, and the usually very sharp finance secretary noticed all the women on the dais, but didn't say he was a lone man on the dais. So that's the kind of thing that, not just because I'm a woman, but brings a certain dimension in public administration that is so required. And I think all the claims and right claims which the Civil Accounts Day brings out every year is purely thanks to the number of women who are here. The kind of achievement. And that's one of the things which marks the increasing presence of women together with men. I don't exclude them, together with men. When you really reach certain levels of achievement, you just keep moving and it gets noticed automatically. However, as my first suggestion for today, I would suggest that that good presentation that you've made, bringing out all those silent achievements that you have done in the last, particularly in the last 2 years, should be in regional languages. It should be taken around the country, wherever you hold meetings, wherever you are building awareness among citizens. Particularly the e-bill that you've done is so much for the citizens. This should be put out, not so much for drawing credit, but so much for quiet work which is going on, which actually makes the big difference. Now, I think I said this last time also, but during the pandemic, and also even otherwise after that, the efficiencies that you achieve by being able to manage public finance without wastage in time or wastage in or pilferages, by now adapting technology, is that revolution which I think every claim of the government on reforms being brought in different sectors, this one will outweigh several of them put together. Because this is what is the essential backbone for ministries, departments, and for center and state in terms of getting money in time, managing money efficiently, stopping pilferages, and above all, making sure those who need that money get it directly into their accounts. If I can summarize your PFMS, your TSA, your SNA, I think that's what it means to a layperson outside. So what's all this about? What is your TSA? What is your SMA? This is releasing without any time delay. Just-in-time release is the equivalent for your SMA, if I can say that. And your TSA is for the central government's own agencies, just-in-time release, so that you manage the money flow efficiently. Now, this is what every government would aspire to have, but today, because you have made sure that you are efficient in using technology, you've also made it possible to achieve it silently even during the pandemic. Now, therefore, what is the message which comes out of this? Not only are you professionally managing the public finance, but for bringing in efficiency, you're also mastering the use of technology. No one outside would normally attribute that to people who keep the books, whereas you're doing it quietly and achieving it. And therefore, India's public finance management is also now taken note of by countries outside, particularly because the government may have launched Jan Dhan Yojana in 2014, given an account, which was a major initiative of the Honorable Prime Minister. You may have given them the account, but when the entitlements reach them into those accounts which have been given to them, which they didn't have earlier, it proves that the will of the government to make financial inclusion as its agenda actually attains its objective only when you are using technology to reach out to them without any discrimination and giving them the entitlements in time, which during the pandemic was like manna from the heaven. It was just an unbelievable drop of little help which the government wanted to give them irrespective of whichever corner they were in. And it reached them without any differentiation. And that's exactly what is also achieved in PM Kisan, when every farmer who's on that platform gets it, and they are largely marginal and small farmers. So it is for them that the money should go in time. People may say, what is that 6,000 rupees annually going to do to them? But you should just ask them who receive the 6,000 in time without somebody else taking away one part of it as undeserved commission for a middleman. So I think the revolution or the various reforms that the government does actually gets the lubrication when the system behind it, particularly the public finance management systems behind it, are keeping pace with all the developments and being efficient. That portfolio of use technology and bring efficiency not within the government's own departments, not just within the government's own departments, but also extending the second leg to the citizens' own use. And Finance Secretary was just briefing that how this particular e-bill which has been launched today is going to take that end-to-end digitization, as a result of which any small window which is available for people to misuse in terms of rent seeking shall not happen, because you as a contractor or you as a supplier to the government will be able to now do that digitally. Put the bill, put your claim with your digital signature, and do not have to come to any of the government offices. Your payment reaches as soon as those claims are brought in with your signature on them. So the manual going around ministries, manual meeting up with persons who, some of them, not all, can use that opportunity to say that they are there to either obstruct or delay payments. Today that is not possible. You have therefore ensured that the common man who works with the government will now not have to wait months, or even will now not have to go and meet officials to say, please release my bill, which is their due. So this remarkable making sure that services through technology adoption is not happening only among us in the departments, but is also extended to those who deal with the government as service provider or goods provider, and therefore make government processes transparent. One other thing which was mentioned, even as I think Sonali Singh spoke about things, that, and also referred to by the Finance Secretary, that there is this attempt now, and very welcome attempt and well received attempt, to make everything in the budget processes transparent. Get everything onto the budget, be open about it, and be transparent about it. And that is facilitated by the work, immense work that you do behind the screen. And that is the third big element coming out of this digital adoption. And even that has been, I can tell you, from last budget, when we made it digital, when we also brought those things which were outside of the budget onto the budget itself, continued that process this time as well. The reception that you're consistent about keeping everything whole, the reception that you're not going to be probably keeping something in the back burner and revealing it some other time, but every year budget is what it is. What it wants to say is there in it and nothing behind or under the cover. So that level of transparency is again something which you have brought on board, and therefore I'm extremely glad that the kind of work which is silently happening through the civil accounts is very praiseworthy. And there are people outside of India, representatives of governments outside of India, who have noticed this, who recognize this. And for a country like India to have handled the pandemic in terms of monies is something which has been observed, and there are people who would want to have that shared with them, that knowledge shared with them, which is a big achievement from your side. And I congratulate all of you for that. As fast as you would do your digitization would be your review as well. You already proved yourself, and I think the claim is now well in the, written in big letters on the wall. It doesn't have to be linked with every time you improve your performance, you get something. The claim is there for us to read it, and I am reading it. So I'm with you. Keep up the good work. 46 years is not long in the institutional memory of the country, but within those 46, you have silently achieved several milestones which very many developed countries have till today not achieved. It's an amazing travel in the 46 years, but I think in the last few years, the pace at which you have brought development sets milestones and worthy of sharing with many countries which would be glad to have that knowledge being given to them. So I'm sure in global fora, we should, and I shall make it a point, to speak about what you have achieved. It's a great revolution, actually enabling revolution, facilitating revolution, technology adopted revolution, which has helped the common people of India. So all appreciation to you, and by the time you touch your 50, I'm sure I'll be surprised at many more things that you're likely to achieve. All the very best to you all, and thanks for having me here today.
Thank you, Madam, for your thought-provoking and inspiring address. Your insights will guide us in the direction of innovation. Bharati Das, Principal CCA, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Privileged to be giving this vote of thanks on behalf of the Indian Civil Accounts Organization and the Chief Controller and the Controller General of Accounts. I would like to thank the Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Madam, for your kind words, especially appreciating the women officers in the service and the silent work that they do. Let me say, ma'am, we are inspired by you. Ma'am, thanks for your encouraging words of the work that has been done by the Civil Account Service, be it the TSA, the SMA or the e-bill initiative. We will be looking forward to encouragement and guidance from you in the near future. We assure you that we will be disseminating whatever work we have done in the regional languages, in the regional areas, so that it reaches a wider audience and all the stakeholders. We will also try to bring greater efficiency and technology in our work, ma'am, and ensure that we have a more professional and digitized service. I would also like to thank the Finance Secretary and Secretary Expenditure, sir, for your very inspiring and encouraging words to the young officers, particularly the probationers who are looking forward to a more modern and professional service. Sir, your assurance and of course Madam's assurance of the cadre review is a great
booster for all of them, and they look forward to a service that is more professional and improves their own capabilities. Sir, it has been your accessibility which has guided us through all, whether it was the pandemic or through our cadre review proposals, and we thank you for that, sir. I would
at 1:45 p.m. to attend the engaging technical sessions post-lunch.